Hello, here comes chapter 2. Number 2 is ipsos facto what? Strange. People wandered past, staring at us. Horses went past, staring at us. Even the donkey stared at us. Definitely very annoying. It's rude to stare. Everyone knows that, except most of Rome, it would seem. One old man simply stood there, looking at us. "What's the matter, fish face?" I croaked at him, and he began to splutter. How dare you? I have not got a fish face," he yelled. "You could have fooled me," I clacked. "Your face looks like an octopus turned inside out. Ha, exploded. Ha, an octopus isn't a fish, it's a cephalopod. So there. Ha, I echoed cephalopod face. The old man slapped his head and jumped up and down. "I can't believe I'm arguing with a wretched raven." "I'm not the least bit wretched, thank you very much. My feathers are glossy, my beak is clean, my eyes are bright and shiny. In other words, I present myself in prime condition, and therefore I am not wretched." "Bucko," Mr. Octopus turned inside out face cackled before hurrying off with a big grin on his face. "Bucko? That's your actual street Latin, that is, and I'm not sure I should tell you what it means, but I shall. Do you know what he called me? A big mouth." "Me? A big mouth? Can you believe it?" "What do you mean it's true? So I'm a big mouth now, am I? After all those nice things I said about you? Well, you can blooming well give me back that biscuit. In fact, you can give me any biscuits you've got, and then I might only consider forgiving you." Anyhow, where was I? Oh yes, that's me clearing my throat in order to bring up the update on our unfortunate position. There we were on the street, surrounded by what little bits and bobs we'd managed to gather together before the Imperial Guard threw us out. Even I had my bit of baggage, namely a dead squirrel I'd hidden under the roof tiles for eating later. "What do you mean eating squirrels is disgusting? It's what ravens do. Carvus, munchus, munchia. Squirrels, rats, worms, slugs, beetles, biscuits. Get over it." Hysteria was sobbing. Some things, they never change. Perillus was on his feet and telling his mother that he would look after everyone. "Now that Pater is in jail, I am the man of the house," he declared, sticking his chin out as far as he could in an attempt to look brave and unconquerable. Flavia honoured him with a weak smile. "Yes, dear," she murmured. "I'm sure you'll do a grand job. Do you think you could start by looking after your sister?" Perillus glanced at Hysteria. She had been sobbing for such a long time. It was amazing she hadn't actually drowned. "Hysteria," Perillus said, rather sharply, I thought. "Put a cork in it." Hysteria looked up at her younger brother, stopped sobbing and shouted, "Put a cork in yourself!" back at him, and went back to weeping. "I can't stop thinking about poor Scorcher, still languishing in jail," she moaned. "He's in a damp, dark, dim dump of a dungeon, with no food." Suddenly, she brightened and dried her eyes. "I can make him a snack and take it to him, and he'll be so grateful. He'll fall in love with me forever and ever, and we'll get married." Flavia reached out and put a consoling hand on Hysteria's arm. "Hysteria, darling, we don't have any food for ourselves, let alone Scorcher. Besides, people don't fall in love with you just because you've made them a sandwich. Anyhow, we don't have a kitchen. In fact, we don't even have a house. We're living on the street for now on. But never mind, darling. I expect they make lovely cakes in prison. I'm sure there'll be a little cafe in there with a cupcake and an icing and maybe even a cherry on top." "Oh dear," Hysteria wasn't the least bit convinced. Neither was I, or anyone else for that matter, who wasn't living in Flavia's dream world. Hysteria threw herself back into sobbing. "Honestly, that girl is a walking waterfall. Okay, More of a sitting down waterfall just at the moment. We have to get Perillus out of jail, insisted we have to get Pater out of jail, insisted Perillus. Yes, dear, said Flavia sweetly. How shall we do that? I'll think of something, Perillus declared. He stuck his chin out again and half closed his eyes to show how hard he was thinking. I sighed. I was getting jealous of the boy. He looked so manly with his chin jutting out, and no matter how clever I am, I don't have to remind you that I am very clever. Very clever. I'm still a bird, a raven, and ipso facto, I don't have a chin to stick out. Yes, it's the old Latin popping up again. I like this old ipso facto kind of meaning because of what I've just said. It follows that. See what I mean? Because I'm a bird, I don't have a chin. Try it for yourself. The next time your teacher asks you where your homework is, all you have to do is say, I did the homework, but Dad was hungry and he tore it from my book and ate it. And then he got squashed by an elephant looking for somewhere to sit down. And unfortunately, he thought my dad was a chair. Ipso facto, I can't show it to you. Your teacher will be so impressed. She or he or it, her, will give you 6 smiley faces and a chocky bar. I bet. Talking of which, have you got any biscuits? Getting a bit starvacious here. What do you mean starvacious isn't a word? I know that. Don't forget, I'm a pupil of the great, the one and only thesaurus, who knows more words than the biggest dictionary in the world. Anyhow, things were looking grim for the poor family, but then they got grimmer. Who would come sneaking across the road but Crabbus, our neighbour from the other side of the street? In case you hadn't met Crabbus before, I better explain. He married Septicemia, and most people call them the Ghastlies because that's exactly what they are. They're mean, nasty, and basically about as unpleasant as 2 sharks with toothache. They only think that they're better than everyone else on their side of the street because they have one slave. One. Put-upon is the poor girl's name. Anyhow, Crabbus came slinking across to us, a slimy grin on his bleary face. Oh, look, he sneered. How are you? How are the mighty fallen? Daddy's been putting his sticky fingers in the Emperor's pot of gold, eh? Pater is innocent, yelled Perillus furiously. Oh, innocent is he? Where have I heard that one before? He's just like all the rest of you rich big bobs. Well, look at you now, down and out with nowhere to live. Ha ha ha, serves you right. I always knew you lot were trash, despite all your sleighs and your fine clothes and your fancy food. Crabbus went back to his house, still grinning. Huh. I'd like to peck out his eyes. Oh no, I'm talking about food again, and my stomach's beginning to rumble. What do you mean? Surely ravens don't eat eyeballs? Of course we do. That's the tastiest bit. No, it's not disgusting. It's what ravens do, okay? Besides, what do you eat? Stuffed dormice. Big Roman's favourite. You think that's nice? All those cute little furry things, stuffed and cooked, and you gobbling away at them as if they're crisps. Anyhow, no sooner had that slime ball Crabbus gone back inside than Trendia came trotting across to us, looking concerned. Now, Trendia is someone I do have time for. She's lovely, and is Scorcher's landlady. He rents a room from her. In fact, they live in the same building as Crabbus and Septicemia. She's also a seamstress and a widow. Her husband was a soldier in the army, but he had a nasty accident with an enemy sword. Basically, he got stuck on the wrong end of it and died as a result. You get the point. Get the point? I crack myself up sometimes, although I don't suppose he thought it was funny at the time. I heard what happened, she said. I can't believe it. Is it true? Chrysius is in jail? Flavia silently nodded. He's innocent, Perillus clenched his fists. I'm sure of that, said Trendia, but you can't stay out here in the streets. There's nowhere else for us to go, Flavia stared helplessly at her hands. I don't know what to do. I do. Trendy began to pick up some of our baggage. Come with me, she said. You're going to stay in my house, at least until we can find you rooms of your own. Don't worry, we'll sort you out. Oh, lovely, kind Trendia, our lifesaver. I looked at her with shiny, adoring eyes. Trendia, beautiful lady, I don't suppose you've got any biscuits on you? Okay, that's the end of chapter 2. Oh, a nice long chapter there for you. Okay, and chapter 3 will appear tomorrow. All right, enjoy. Bye.